All right, so this is a YouTube short called Wash. Just type in horror shorts. It was one of the first ones we saw.
It was. It's. I think it's produced by. Is it Alter? Because don't they do a bunch of these?
I don't know, honestly.
I'm pretty sure that they're the same ones that do like some of the more high quality, not in terms of like content, but just like well produced horror shorts.
I will say that was pretty. That was like it feels very cinematic. Like it doesn't look like it's a homemade movie. I don't.
I didn't know what happened.
I was just gonna say like we can try to describe it, but honestly, like I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can describe what happened. Like there's like imagery of like there's a mom, a daughter, and a bunny, and then like the mom's watching the washer who apparently has a bunny in it, but there's a hand in there. So like this bunny obviously has some like demonic. It's like a demonic entity of sorts, and there's some allusion to like a girl being pulled into a washer, but then you see the mom's hands at the end and you're like thinking that maybe it was the mom that was being dragged in there, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like they make it seem like at the beginning of the short, that the mother has put her daughter into the wash. Mm-hmm. But then you realize that it was the daughter's stuffed rabbit that was in the wash because it was dirty. But then at the very, very end, they show the mom's fingernails, which at the very beginning of the short, you see a trail of blood. It looks like there's a fingernail caught onto the landing, like in between the door frame. And you assume at the very beginning that that's like the mother putting the daughter into the washer. But that's not what happened. It seems like for a 6-minute horror short, they throw a lot of like psychs, a lot of like, whoa, did you see that coming?
Yeah. I liked, again, it's well produced. Like
it looks good.
Yeah, it's got the haunting like soundtrack. It feels like it was like a snippet of a movie, but ultimately it's very confusing.
It's, it kind of feels to me like the way you might describe like an album being overproduced. Like an album that's got that overproduced, like almost like synthetic feel to it. It kind of has that feel where it's like things. At the very beginning, I was almost going to make a joke that it kind of looked like something that ChatGPT would produce if you said, give me horror footage, B-roll, and it would be that.
Yeah.
It looks nice. It's a lot of flash. I don't think that it tells a very conclusive enough of a story for its 6-minute runtime.
I agree. I think a lot of these, in 7 minutes, you got to pack in a lot. Like they did have like a lot of like panning shots, and like the very last scene or the very last part, it's like focus on the washer for at least 45 seconds. Like, I mean, it looked like just imagery of a washing machine. And half of it was spoken, half of it was just like these cinematic shots. And it's funny, like I look at these YouTube shorts and I feel like they think of like, it's like, well, what can we make the most mundane thing seem scary? And they're like, let's make a washing machine be like the antagonist, or like the spooky factor, It was fine. It's well produced, but I don't know if it was really that scary. Like, I don't even get it.
I mean, I think that like we're both parents. I think the idea of washing your daughter's stuffed animal, like kind of entrusting a machine to do something that should be pretty delicate and pretty, you want to make sure that it doesn't tear up the stuffy. It could be disastrous for this kid. I kind of find that an interesting thing to tell a story about. I don't really think it lands anywhere. Yeah. I think horror shorts in general are really tough because I think that they have to ultimately at some point scare you, and when you condense everything, you lose the ability to tell a whole lot of like story.
The story, there's no backstory. Like,
but there are some good horror shorts. Like we've watched. What's that one? Is it Portrait of God?
Yeah, that was good.
I think that's pretty good. Like, you can make good horror shorts. I think that
12, 15 minutes, I think, something like that. But
some of these ones I've watched from Alter kind of fall into that
Shutter quality.
Yeah, you know what? That's like a good comparison, honestly. It's like sort of highly produced, pretty flashy, somewhat low substance.
Yeah.
But, check it out. I think that...
I mean, if you got 7 minutes, if you're in the horror genre, it's fine.
Some of these, we're just scrolling through the thumbnails of other ones, and it's just like,
One's
what
called
in God's name?
Pruning. One's called Lady Parts, and there's this guy had I guess vagina on his arm. Did you see that?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, go back. It's right. Keep going. I think that's what it looks like. I mean, that's what they're... Yeah, isn't that what that's supposed to be?
Yep, that's pretty sure that's what it is. I'm surprised YouTube just kind of let that one go, huh?
Well, check it out.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think that it's kind of an interesting idea, but I don't think it lands very well.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, well...